If you look up Secret State Police Report in Missouri, you're going to be able to print this out, blow it up, and at the very end of this report that they released, the 8-page report, it's not classified, but it says for law enforcement eyes only. You'll see that on page 1. On the last page, you get a phone number to the office that put this together. So I'm sure they're being flooded with calls right now. If you want to be a part of that, flooding them with phone calls, you can do that by Googling the report and writing down that number. This report was distributed by the Missouri Information Analysis Center, the MIAC, which we will be referring to it from here on out, entitled The Modern Militia Movement, and it was dated February 20th, 2009. A footer on the document indicates that it's unclassified but law enforcement sensitive, in other words, not for public consumption. It notes many of the political issues cited by the so-called Patriot movement, the Ammunition Accountability Act, the impending economic collapse of the U.S. government, the possibility of a constitutional convention, the North American Union, Obama's Universal Service Program, and the implementation of RFID, issues that are not limited to the Patriot movement but are shared by a wide variety of political activists. In that last slide, you saw the United States being broken up into regions. In this slide, you see the North American superhighway. They say people that talk about these things are terrorists. You need to watch them. That's what this report is indicating, and that's why they put those pictures in this. The award-winning film Zeitgeist is also mentioned as terrorist material, as you see in the very last slide. So it basically says if you oppose taxation, believe in the well-documented existence of a new world order, and are opposed to the obvious expansion of the federal government at the expense of the states, they basically marginalize people that believe that as violent extremists who are gunning for the police instead of the other way around. Now let's go back a couple years. Yeah, here we go. Anybody with that stuff? You got Don't Tread on Me. That was a flag during the Revolutionary War. Now they say it's militia. All that stuff. Distress sign, lower right, lower left of the screen. Distress sign, U.S. flag upside down. That's bad. All that's bad. And the last slide, you see what? American Russo's Freedom to Fascism, the Turner Diaries, which actually is racist material, and Zeitgeist. So you see, they lumped them together, but we're not done. They are on a campaign, folks. They are on a campaign. Here we go. This is during the Clinton administration. If you encounter, you are looking at the Phoenix, Arizona Task Force flyer. Next slide. Start with the left. Right-wing extremists, super patriots, defenders of the U.S. Constitution. They got hate groups, skinheads, KKK, all that down on the lower left. Skip over to the right side of the screen, and there's more. Now leave it here, Bill. Let them take a look. You can print this document out. You can print the document out. It came from Phoenix, Arizona, the Phoenix, Arizona Task Force flyer. But in the next report, several former guests of Outside the Box are now being listed by the ADLU as extremists. According to the ADL, not the ADLU, but the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, Joe Bannister, Tom Cryer, Pat Shannon, Dave Von Kleist, Jack McLam, Greg Dixon, Ted Gunderson, and Michael Batnerick are extremist speakers who will appear at the Three Pillars of Tyranny Conference in Florida. Now look at this graphic. What do you see? You see the racists on top, the racists on the bottom, and the patriots, people talking about the Constitution, the tax code, the takeover of America by the banks. They are the conspiracy theorists, and they are smack dab in the middle. Folks, it's about peer pressure. Your friends read this, and they see this is extremist behavior. You hear this stuff coming out of your mouth, and they're thinking that you're maybe moving in the direction of radical extremism, and they worry about you, and maybe in the future they report you. As we get turned into more or less a snitch society. We already are one, but